Look at this. The tomato is grown by myself on the balcony. Perfect result and harvest in 2 months, already on the first attempt. I filmed all the stages of this modest cultivation. And in the company of those pictures and also chatting a bit about a curious fact on the seed barons, I will explain how to grow your own tomatoes at home, from tomato slice to harvest. First, we need to have a reliable, genuine tomato, not from hybrid seed, not from contaminated land. I used small Datterini tomatoes that I bought on the island of Ponza in Italy. You know, the island climate, the volcanic land, which is the most fertile land, and they were delicious. By the way, if you haven't seen my video on the Ponza Island, you can watch it through the link that I will be putting in the description below. We begin to cut delicately the tomato, taking care not to damage the yellow seeds. This is a Datterini tomato, but the method is the same for all types of tomatoes. The yellow seeds, we remove them slowly and they must remain entire, undamaged. Dealing with insemination is a kind of therapy. We people mustn't give up the genuine seed. We must protect it. We must inspire children to care about genuine food, genuine seeds. We must never forget that who rules the seed rules the world. Have you ever heard of the Doomsday Vault near the North Pole on an island in the Svalbard archipelago in Norway? It is called Svalbard Global Seed Vault. It holds all the seed samples of the world, millions of seed samples collected from all parts of the planet and brought here. It's carved into the mountain, resistant to a possible nuclear war, resistant to a possible planetary catastrophe, built as a precaution to avoid the disappearance of plants and types of food, a sort of Noah's Ark. Well, it sounds good, but it's not all plain sailing. There is also the other side of the coin. I haven't forgotten the tomato. I continue to demonstrate the stages of germination of the seed, and in the meantime, we keep chatting as well. We need small containers. I use disposable shot glasses. We need to perforate the bottom of the glass or the pot. This way we avoid too much water in the container. The ideal would be to put a second glass under the perforated one. We fill the glass with soil. We place the yellow seeds of the fresh tomato on the soil. We spread them gently and cover them with soil. The seeds must be completely covered, but not too much. What were we talking about? Yeah, the Doomsday Vault. Sounds good, yes. But let's take a look at the backer financiers of this huge seed bank. They are the same people and their companies that produce and impose the genetically modified seeds, non-reusable hybrid seeds that also deplete nutrients in the soil. They are the same people and their companies that produce chemical fertilizers for agriculture, as well as anti-tumor medicines for people poisoned by the contaminated food. They are always the same people and same companies, so the global Svalbard Seed Vault is in their hands. Seed barons behind prestigious institutions, on one hand, they take the original genuine seeds from fields in all countries to deposit them in Svalbard. On the other, they develop mechanisms to impose on farmers dangerous, genetically modified and much more expensive seeds than the traditional millenary ones. Basically, a system to govern peoples, making them dependent. Exactly as slipped from the mouth of a prominent American politician, Henry Kissinger. Control oil and you control nations. Control food and you control people. In many countries of the world, seed banks already exist. So, Svalbard is on the news. The news is that someone, while playing with the genetics of human nutrition, in the meantime keeps the samples of genuine seeds in order to protect humans against a possible catastrophe. So, the question is to the planet, What should ever happen to the planet? And in the aftermath, the whole world will need wallboard. Turning back to the tomatoes, we have filled all the containers. We water the soil. What type of soil is ideal for growing tomatoes? Well, tomato isn't a particularly demanding plant, so any biological, permeable, well-fertilized soil is fine. The use of natural fertilizers is highly recommended. I make a wonderful organic fertilizer at home. Very easy. You can find the video in the link description below. The next step. We cover the container for a few days just to create a greenhouse microclimate, preferably in a lightless but warm corner of our house and preferably indoors. Every day we must check the humidity of the soil. A few days later we remove the cover, and the fundamental thing is to keep the soil moist. We put the containers in a bright corner that sees sun on the balcony, but they must not be exposed to a direct sunlight. The ideal climate for growing tomatoes is temperate, humid and warm. Temperature from 20 degrees up. And if you live in a cold place, you should create a microenvironment. About 10 days later, we see the first sprout. It's exciting. And a week later, they become like this. Then 10 days later, they reach to this height. You will notice that the very first leaves fall off. It's normal. Indeed, it's necessary to give away the new and true leaves of the plant. Growing still reached this height, we can transfer the seedling in a large pot. One pot for each seedling, and we do this carefully without damaging the root of the plant. As soon as placing the seedlings in the pot, let's water it, and now the plant grows faster. Flowering begins within a few days. Then the first cherry tomatoes appear from here. We watched with great pleasure their formation, growth and transformation from green to red. Truly like a therapy. In short, find the best tomatoes and reproduce them. Never underestimate the seed. Whoever has it is the ruler.